Officer Friendly here. One of the questions I'm often asked as a police officer is, why did you decide to become a police officer? Well, the short answer I usually give is that I want to help people. And one of the ways that I really can most effectively help people is to give them a feeling of security and safety. And in Mount Prospect, this is a very safe and secure town. Unfortunately, there have been a string of residential burglaries in Mount Prospect, and those crimes come up here and there. So one thing that I want to do is provide an opportunity for you guys, you the public, to keep your houses safe and secure, so that you know that while we won't be totally immune to residential burglary, that there are some tips that you can follow to help keep your house as safe as possible. One thing that I like to do that I think is very helpful, for instance, when I had to sell my own personal house a few years back, the best advice I received was to view my house from the eyes of the buyer. And that totally changed my perspective on how I was selling my house. The little things that I would put up with, a squeaky hinge, things like that, ended up realizing a buyer doesn't want to see those things. Same thing when you're trying to look at the security of your house, that I'd recommend that you look at the security from the eyes of a burglar. So some of the things we're going to look at here are going to show you how a burglar looks at your house and some things that you can do to prevent your house being a target for burglars. One tip that is very important is if you are going to be going out of town, especially in the wintertime, one thing you're going to want to do is to make sure that your driveway and your sidewalks, that they're going to be cleared of snow. If you're going to be gone during those times, maybe have a neighbor or somebody that you trust come by and keep the sidewalks and driveway free of snow. And then in the summertime, you're going to want the grass to be kept at a decent level when you're out of town, so that if a burglar does come by and they see three driveways in the middle, maybe in the middle of the winter time, that have snow on them, and one does not have snow, well, the one that does not have snow on it's going to look like the one that's somebody's home. So you always want to make it appear, even when you're not home, that somebody is in fact at the house. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is the landscaping in front of your house or around your house. One thing that burglars want is they want to be able to hide out when they do these things. They don't want to be in your house and have somebody be able to see inside the windows. And one thing that people often overlook is they allow their landscaping to get out of control. And sometimes bushes and trees in front of the windows might look nice, but you don't want them to be covering up windows, a place where burglars are able to hide and have more time inside. You always want to put the fear in their mind that they might be seen or caught at any time. So keep your bushes, keep your trees well maintained so they're not blocking entranceways or windows. One thing that we really want to emphasize again is to make sure that it looks like someone's home, even if they're really not. So if you go on vacation and you normally get newspapers delivered to your house, you want to call the paper and have them stop delivery. Or if it's just going to be a couple of days, you could just have, again, a trusted neighbor or a family or a relative, somebody come by, take the newspapers in for you. Same thing with the mail. Mail delivery, the post office, give them a call. They can stop delivery for you for a few days, and then you can come pick it up when you return, or you could have it all delivered at one time when you return. These are all things, again, that make it look like somebody is at home instead of just having newspapers or mail piling up and looking like someone's obviously on vacation. One other thing that you want to look at is the exterior lighting of your house. When you do have lights, such as a porch light or motion sensor lights, things like that around the house or the garage, you want to have it with a minimum of a 40-watt bulb to be able to give out a decent amount of light. And this light here is a good example. It has a photocell timer. So what happens is at when darkness falls, the light automatically goes on. So you know that it's on at all times. And for just the tiny bit of electricity it uses, it's a great investment to always look like somebody's at home. Something else to look at is the security system of your door. So you look here, this door does not have what's called a deadbolt, which would be that lever that you turn and the piece of metal that goes into the door frame. That's something that definitely helps with the security of the door, and it would inhibit people from actually pushing the door open. So you'd want to look to get a deadbolt, a good deadbolt installed into your door, and then good long screws that are about 2.5 to 3 inches long that go into the door frame. So again, preventing it from just simply being pushed open. So now we've talked a lot about the outside of the house, but let's examine the inside from a burglar's perspective on the outside. So a burglar comes up to the door, they're going to be looking for certain things. They're going to be looking to see if there's lights on inside. So what you want to do is, if you're out of town, get some cheap timers at a local hardware store. Set random lights on timers so that they go on and off at different times, looking like someone's at home. You might want to turn your radio on, turn the TV on, leave those on. So again, a burglar comes up and listens and they think, maybe there's someone home, I might go somewhere else. You're not trying to push them off onto your neighbor, but you're trying to protect your house. All these things can help, again, making it look like someone's home, even though you might not be there.